FSC Biology Chapter 9 first. FSC Biology Chapter 9 first off, the best line summary for the preparation of PPSC lecturer and subject specialist biology and botany. In this lecture, we shall discuss the major classification of Kingdom Plantae. Kingdom Plantae is basically categorized into two categories based on the presence or absence of vascular tissue, xylem and phloem. So, the major division Bryophyta and the major division Tracheophyta. Bryophyta is further classified into three subdivisions: Hepaticopsida, the liverworts; Bryopsida, the mosses; and Anthoceropsida, the hornworts. These second names are important to remember. Similarly, the division Tracheophyta is further divided into four subdivisions: Psilopsida, the whisk ferns; Lycopsida, club mosses; Sphenopsida, horsetails; and Pteropsida, fern seed plants. Pteropsida is the largest subdivision, and it is further divided into three major classes: class Felicini, Gymnospermi and Angiospermi. In this lecture, we shall limit ourselves up to class Felicini and evolution of seed, and in the second half of this chapter, we shall inshallah discuss the remaining families and their characteristics and economic importance of both Gymnospermi and Angiospermi. Let's start. Basic and important features of bryophytes, non-vascular plants. Bryophytes do not have xylem, phloem and flowers. They transport materials using diffusion and osmosis because xylem and phloem are absent. They have thin cuticle on their body, and that MCQ is very important. Water absorbed through general surface of plant because they do not have roots. They are amphibians of plants because their reproduction depends on water still. That's why they are called amphibians of plants, and that's important fact to remember. They have a dominant, independent, free-living gametophyte, while gametophyte produces less conspicuous or less prominent sporophyte, which is dependent on it. So the gametophyte is independent and dominant, while sporophyte is dependent and is less conspicuous. Rhizoids resemble roots, which are water absorbing structures. Sporophyte is consisted of foot, seta and capsule. These three structures are important to remember for the sporophyte. And it is a diploid. Homosporous mean it produces same kind of spores. Among the characteristics, Antheridia are male sex organs, while Archegonia are female sex organs. These organs are multicellular and they are protected by sterile cells. Gametes are produced by mitosis. That is important feature here to remember, because you most of the time link gametes with meiosis. Antherozoids are male gametes which are motile and enormous or huge in number, while female egg is single in each archegonium. Antherozoids are attracted toward archegonia by chemotactically or using certain chemicals. After a resting period, zygote develop into diploid embryo and then sporophyte. Sporophyte develop inside gametophyte because it do not have chlorophyll and it is dependent for its nourishment or food. Alternation of generation provide genetic variability, selection and adaptation. These three terms are very important, which are always linked with alternation of generation in the MCQs. Now, adaptation to land. How bryophytes are adapted to land? They conserve water by reducing exposed surface area, and cuticle also limit the evaporation of water from the surface. Photosynthetic tissue into chambers is present without loss of water and exposure. That is the major adaptation for conservation of water. Rhizoids for water absorption and anchorage or means support. Heterogamy is motile sperms, while non-motile eggs with stored food. Heterogamy means they produce different kinds of gametes. Development of Antheridia and Archegonia is another adaptation. Retention of embryo inside female body and alternation of generation are the remarkable features which are majorly concerned with the adaptation of bryophytes to land. Now, you have to remember these points one by one, because in MCQs these points are given in the option and you are asked that which one is adaptation and which one is not. Hepaticopsida, the liverworts. They are simplest of all bryophytes. Plant body is gametophyte, thalloid, Thalloid mean do not have true root, stem or leaves, and dichotomously branched leaves or branch, you can say. Now what is a dichotomy? Basically dichotomous branches are like Y-shaped, and you can observe in the diagram that the first terminal bud in the bottom is dividing into two, and then it is further dividing into two, and then they are further dividing into two. So that kind of division of branches is termed as dichotomy or dichotomously branched shoots. Marchantia has rhizoids. Porella has false stem and leaves. Now false stem and leaves are important to remember for Marchantia. In Marchantia, gamma cups function in asexual reproduction. Sex organs develop on upper surface of thallus near tips of branches called antheridiophores and archegoniophores. Bryopsida. They can grow equally on dry places in contrast to liverworts, which can only grow in wet places or moist places. Water is necessary for reproduction, so they grow cushions and mats to conserve or stop water. Most gametophyte is differentiated into resembling structures of stem and leaves. Sex organs develop on tips of different branches in Funaria. In Polytrichum, sex organs develop on different plants. Now please note the difference in Funaria and Polytrichum. In Funaria on the same branches, while in Polytrichum on different plants. Paraphyses, another very important MCQ, are sterile hairs which are present in reproductive organs. So paraphyses are hairs. Spores develop into an alga-like protonema in mosses, and haploid moss develop from buds of protonema. Protonema is intermediate. It is important to remember. Now, Anthoceropsida are the hornworts. They are most advanced bryophytes. Gametophyte is lobed and irregular. Sporophyte is not dependent on gametophyte. Sex organs are partially sunken in gametophytic tissues. Sporophyte has stomata and chloroplast finally in epidermis. At the junction of foot and spore producing region, a band of meristematic tissue is present. That is very important for you to remember. This band of meristematic tissue continuously grow, increasing in size of sporophyte. Due to its fast growth, sporophyte can live even after the death of gametophyte. Anthoceros is a hornwort found in hilly areas of Pakistan. Very important fact to remember. Alternation of generation in bryophytes. Gametophyte is haploid while sporophyte is diploid. Gametophyte is dominant, sporophyte is dependent. Gametophyte is called so because it produces gametes, and the zygote is called as oospore. Oospore produce sporophyte which has photocyta and capsule. Spores develop within the capsule by meiosis. Gametophyte generation begins with spores and ends at gametes, while sporophyte begins at oospore and ends at spore mother cells. That very important fact is for you to remember. Meiosis occurs in spore mother cells while mitosis occurs to produce gametes. Now note the difference here: meiosis for spores and mitosis for gametes. Tracheophyta. Most successful land plants with vascular tissues. They have true roots, stems and leaves. Xylem and phloem in stem, roots and leaves. Protected sporangia and seed. Pollen tube for water independent transmission, and flowers and fruits are developed. Now these are basically the characteristics of flowering plants. They are heteromorphic, alternation of generation, because independent sporophyte and gametophyte are present. The first subdivision is Psilopsida. They are earliest group of vascular plants. They are rootless sporophytes, underground stem, rhizome and dichotomous branches. Leafless aerial parts are veinless outgrowths which perform photosynthesis. Reproductive organs are sporangia at tips or on lateral branches as well. Vascular tissue is without pith. That is the most critical MCQ in Psilopsids. Vascular tissue is without pith and have broad cortex. Colorless underground thalloid gametophyte associated with fungus. Most members of this subdivision have become extinct. Among the extinct are Horniphyton, Xylophyton and Cooksonia, while the living members are Xylotum and Tomacipterus. Evolution of leaf. Lycopods were first plants that formed leaves and roots. Microphyll leaves have single undivided vein in Lycopodium, and megaphylls are large leaves with divided veins in ferns and seed plants. Examples are important for you. Leaf blade is called lamina. Megaphylls evolved from Coelopsids about 350 million years ago. Overtopping is unequal development of branches in different planes, that one branch is long and the other is short. Planation is arrangement of different branches into one plane. Fusion or webbing developed by filling spaces between branches with parenchyma. That parenchyma name is important. Reticulate venation is basically networked veins in the leaf. Lycopsida, the club mosses. Sporophyte has two leaves, stems and roots. Leaves are microphylls and spiral. Sporangia is of one kind in Lycopodium, while micro and megasporangia in Selaginella, both kinds are present. They are called club mosses because of their small leaves and stabuli. Selaginella resemble seed plants because of heterospory. Gametophyte is underground. Lycopodium and Selaginella are examples of Lycopsida. Saphenopsida, horsetails. Leaves are arranged in whorls. They are also called arthrophytes because of large number of joints. Stem is not smooth but with large furrows and ridges are present on stem. Now, sporangiophores aggregate to form stabuli. That is very important for you. Examples are Equisetum. The next is Pteropsida, the largest one. Pteropsida is divided into three major classes: Felicini, Gymnospermi and Angiospermi, but in this lecture we shall discuss only class Felicini, the ferns. They are seedless plants, do not have seeds, and foliar sporangia attached with fronds or leaves. When leaves are young and immature, they are coiled, and that kind of development is called as circinate vernation. Circinate vernation, that is important, not venation. Ferns are abundant in tropics or tropical areas. Dryopteris, Tradium edientum and Pteris are examples of class Felicini or ferns. Now, the critical example of Felicini is edientum. Edientum grow on moist walls and watercourses. Unbranched, horizontally growing rhizome is covered with brownish scales. Rementa. Rementa are brownish scales, please remember. Rhizome has fibrous adventitious roots. Leaves or fronds arise from upper side of rhizome. Leaves are also commonly called fiddleheads and show circinate vernation. It is called maidenhair fern. Why? Because of black, shiny rachis or stalk. Sori are cluster or group of sporangia. Sorus is a singular. False indusium is covering for sporangia formed by leaf margin bends. False indusium, very important for you. Life cycle of edientum. Gametophyte is small and reduced but separate and independent. Leaves having sporangia are called sporophylls. The sporangium is called capsule and is borne on stalk. Wall of capsule is made of single layered cells. Edge of capsule has two structures, annulus and stomium. Now these two structures are important. Annulus is larger in size and have radial cells with thickened inner walls, while stomial cells are thin walled. Annulus contracts in dry weather and rupture to release spores. Spores on germination produce prothallus. Now what is prothallus? Prothallus is small, flat, heart-shaped structure which is autotrophic and prepare its own food. Growing point is on anterior side of prothallus. Rhizides are unicellular and present on posterior end of prothallus. Margin of prothallus is one cell thick while inner part is cushion-like or many cell thick. Prothallus is monoecious. In mature prothallus, antheridia are scattered while archegonia are near to notch. Spermatozoids are coiled and multiciliated, have many cilia. Egg is present in venter of Archegonium. That MCQ is very important and I have seen this in the past paper. Antherozoid reach Archegonia by swimming and fertilization occurs. So water is necessary for their fertilization. Oospore or zygote develop into sporophyte. Most significant event was development of seed in land plants about 390 million years ago. First complete seeds appeared about 365 million years ago during late Devonian period. Fertilized ovule is technically a seed, while integumented indecent megasporangium is ovule. That is the definition of ovule. Producing one kind of spores is homospory, and that is up to pteridophytes. Producing different kinds of spores is heterospory, which are microspores and megaspores. Microspores form male gametophyte or microgametophyte, while megaspores form female gametophyte or megagametophyte. Final stage in the evolution of seed was pollen tube. Now that's it for today. Inshallah, in upcoming video, the second half will be covered with complete concepts and facts. Stay connected and stay successful. Allah Hafiz.